Hello and welcome to a tutorial for the DN strategy for the 8-man hard mode explosive conflict Warlord Kephess encounter. We will walk you through how we handle the boss's main mechanics and then show you the full fight with voice comms and no annoying musical soundtrack. For the full encounter we use a standard player composition of 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 melee DPS, and 2 ranged DPS. While the Kephess tank is up, he will do raid-wide damage. He will target a single group member with his blasters. There's no way to avoid this damage. And he also does saturation fire in one of 3 zones that should be avoided. We burn down the Imperial Siege droids in this order. For the second and third droids, we have the tank and healers alternating interrupts on calibration shot, while the 4 DPS will burn down the first droid, with the 2 melee DPS alternating interrupts, and then continuing to alternate interrupts for the second and third droids. Once the 3 droids are defeated, a Beridian bomber will spawn in one of 3 locations. You can stun the bomber while DPSing him down to avoid the rocket launcher spike damage. All the while you have to remember to avoid the saturation fire. Once defeated, he will give a random raid member the Beridian bomb to use against the Kephess tank. Player with the Beridian bomb runs underneath the Kephess tank at the red mark on the floor. Players with debuffs such as Grav Round and Sunder Strike can stack debuffs on the boss prior to the burn phase. A Sage can pull the player with the bomb away from the Kephess tank when he starts to rise to prevent unnecessary damage. When the Kephess tank gets increased damage buff, DPS will mass burn the boss with relics, adrenals, etc. Melee DPS should prepare for the warrior phase and split from the group early. Your target for each phase is to eliminate 33% of the Kephess tank's health. We use our melee DPS to split the warriors from the trench cutters, while the tanks tank trench cutters behind the Kephess tank away from the saturation fire. Be careful not to use area taunts unless the warrior is out of range of your taunt. We have one healer have full attention on the main raid, while the other healer splits attention between the main raid and melee. After main raid group finishes second group of trench cutter, we move around the area damage from Kephess tank to the entrance gate. This puts you in the position to pick up the next Beridian bomber regardless of the spawn location. We then have the off-tank taunt one of the trench cutters and brings him off to the side to keep him alive, delaying the start of the next Beridian bomber until the raid party has all been topped off with health, force, ammo, regen, etc. We defeat the last trench cutter when we're ready to move on to the next phase. Once you get to the pulsar power droids, everyone will stack up on the droid that is not channeling pulse. Everyone should be on the center pixel of the droid that is not casting, while the tanks will be off by about 5 meters to absorb the rail shots. One player can position his camera towards the farther droid to watch the cast bar and count down the last 5 seconds before you have to switch droids. When you're moving across from droid to droid, make sure you have one tank in front and one tank in back. So regardless of which droid is throwing out the rail shots, they will absorb the damage instead of the rest of the raid. At this point, the Warlord Kephess will jump down and will need to be tanked, and have a healer keep watch over him as the rest of the raid watches for the third Beridian bomber to spawn. Occasionally Kephess will jump into the air and then land in a red circle. After the jump, Kephess puts a debuff on the tank, requiring a tank swap, regardless of what else is happening in the fight. Between 57 and 58% health, Kephess pulls in all raid members in line of sight. So at approximately 63% health, we use one tank, one healer, and one DPS to stay behind with the boss to bring him down to 57%, while the rest of the raid party drops LOS with Kephess using the side ledge of the ramp from the entrance gate. It is possible that Kephess could jump in this phase, but DPS should be able to burn him down soon after he lands, preventing the need for a tank swap. Once Kephess begins channeling Gift of the Masters, the healer, tank, and DPS will get pulled into Kephess, and should use their defenses along with any speed gain buffs such as Force Sprint, Sentinel Speed Bonus, etc. to avoid as much damage as possible. If your raid party has a smuggler or agent, you can use Ballistic Shield to mitigate some of this damage as well. The rest of the raid party should not take any damage, making recovery from this attack much easier to manage. If you do find yourself shelling at this point, just use a single-use med pack or any of your self-healing abilities to help out your healers. The tank should try and run out towards the center of the fighting area rather than towards the rest of the raid to prevent the possibility of the raid taking the damage from the lunge attack. Once the Gift of the Master's cast is completed, resume tanking Kephess. Everyone not tanking should avoid being in front of Kephess to avoid his lunge frontal cone attack seen here in this screenshot. Kephess will perform a knockback and cast Breath of the Masters, giving the active tank a debuff. Off-tank needs to taunt Kephess during this cast to avoid the tank with the Breath of the Masters from taking any boss damage, resulting in a one-shot. Tank with Breath of the Masters must strategically place purple circles, which are area damage, in some organized way away from the raid party. Watch for knockback for the next tank swap. The tank on Kephess should be aware of where the purple circles are being dropped and not get his back too close to any of them, or he may land in one after a knockback. Keep up the tank swap after each knockback as your DPS dwindles down the last remaining hit points from Kephess. Once defeated, don't forget to celebrate in style. Once you pull all of that together, it should look a little something like this. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I got it. He's got that one here, I think.
That was cool.
Inspiration.
Trench getters.
Did it? Come on.
Alright, I'm maxing cuffing it back up. Hit him. Good. Far side.
Far bomber.
Atlee. Hit him.
Birds are down.
Birds are up. Five, four, three, two, one, switch. Five, four, three, two, one, switch. Burn him.
I'll run to that one and use his mask now.
Down here.
Stun him.
Nice. Yep, yep. Yep.
Alright, take a shot.
Got him. Guess I'm gonna need some healing.
Big walker's down.
So what are we doing different this time? 62% you gotta leave? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out, yeah.
Taunting him. You get debuff help? Yes, sir. Win. Take it. Got him.
70%.
65.
Alright, DPS, start hiding.
Yeah, go.
Backing off a little bit. Alright, pushing forward. Let's go.
Is that it?
Dang it, Joe.
No.
Did we just miss it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hold on. Keep hiding. Keep hiding. I'll take a
Got
shot.
him up.
That was it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's not so horrible.
Boom. Alright, watch out for his lunge.
Alright, you guys should.
That's it.
So, take him, breath.
Got
I'm
him.
gonna kill myself.
Oh, shit, dude, don't get out of range. Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I'm just so many people
Burn.
burn.
Take a
I
shot.
got it. Don't worry. I'll take it.
I got him.
Be careful, should we don't get knocked back into one of these.
Close.
Got it.
Inspiration.
bucks if you got him.
Reels.
16%.
Got him.
Weapon Masters.
Watch out, guys.
7.
5, 3,
He's gone.
1.
No wipes. Good job, guys.
Yes! And there's only 2 people to brag to on.
Alright.
Good job, guys.
Alright,
Way to work
everybody
together.
dance on Kephess's corpse.
I'm gonna straight bop
Party
on it.
bomb.
Slash teabag.
I am party bombing this bad boy.
You think 8 months of effort?
There
Yeah,
we
that's
go.
worth 100 grand. I'll spot you that.
Welcome my party man kid. Let me get screenshot.
Bring out the jugglers. They deserve it.
Party time.